Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's founders interview. Today with us, we have Maria, the CEO of Alternova. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm super excited to talk about Alternova and speak with Maria as well. So let's kick it off. Maria, tell me a little bit more about yourself and what you do over at Alternova.
Absolutely. So my name is Maria. I am originally Colombian. I live in San Francisco, and I am a partner of a software development company that is completely specialized in the digital health industry. The name of my company is Alternova. And basically our value proposition, or what we bring to the industry, is we bring engagement and fun to the healthcare experience by being an agile team of developers that are experts in building this type of software and that can bring almost any type of digital health experience to life.
Awesome. And so what's the kind of like the general pitch for Alternova and some of the things that you currently solve for?
So basically, our expertise as software developers can be defined as we are really good at developing different types of interactive applications and platforms that are used to collect real-world data, so healthcare data, out of the interactions that either patients or any other stakeholder has with any type of interactive application. We make sure that all the data that is extracted from them can be properly gathered and stored and processed for healthcare processes and for healthcare objectives. So to tell you a little bit about the type of technology we're building or the type of use case that we are working on as software developers, we're developing digital therapeutics, we're developing patient monitoring applications, we're developing a decentralized clinical trial platform, and we're developing different types of platforms that are used to collect, process, and store healthcare data.
Maria, would you describe Alternova as a SaaS platform?
I would describe Alternova in two different avenues. One of them is we provide software development services for companies in the digital health and in the healthcare industry, where we develop, as I told you, different types of applications and platforms for healthcare purposes. We are also looking for different types of opportunities to develop our own products. And that is why we're building at the moment a platform in alliance with Stanford, with the Stanford Bayer Center for Biodesign, that is aimed at democratizing the development of digital health technology and research. It is basically a pre-built backend that you plug into whatever digital health application you're developing or whatever prototype of a digital health app you're working on. And in the same interface, you can see all the data that your application collects, plus all the healthcare data that your phone and all the wearables that you have connected to your phone connect. And we're working at the moment in a layer on top of that data to be able to connect easily to electronic health records and be able to pull and push data from them. So it's basically one interface, one dashboard, where you're able to see someone's health information from the past and in real time as well. So to answer your question, we are a software company that offers software development services for the digital health industry, and we are also developing our own platform in alliance with Stanford.
It's really fascinating to me, since we've spoken originally as well, about how it's not necessarily a video game, but it's using similar concepts to solve for real world applications. So, solving or understanding if someone does have a critical illness or an illness that's developing, which when you can both heal the illness as well as diagnose as well. Is that correct?
That is completely correct. Video games for health, or experiences as medicine, as the scientists we work with call it, is one of the use cases that we're experts in. We actually some of my partners and myself, from a video game background. So what we bring to when we build digital health products is our knowledge in engagement mechanics and in building basically fun and interactive applications that are able to engage users and keep them using the application that we're building. So engagement is definitely an issue in digital health. It is something that products that are being built in this industry are trying to solve, how to engage patients and how to make them actually use a digital experience as an aid or as a way to either get a proper diagnosis on a condition or be a companionship or even an intervention for a condition that she or he has.
What is one of the biggest challenges you faced currently as a COO?
Well, I am not a US citizen. I am a foreigner, so definitely building a company, understanding the US ecosystem and how things work in such a big market is a challenge. And in consequence, figuring out how to find your way, how to find your niche, and how to differentiate in that niche has been definitely been a challenge for us, but also a thrilling experience and quite a ride that has been really interesting and has had a lot of learning opportunities and challenges as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that's the case for many companies as they go international across different borders, different nationalities, different systems. For example, the American health system is very different. I probably can guess from the British or the Colombian or anywhere else in the world. So there's many challenges there that you have to navigate.
That's totally true. But it has been a great process. My partners and I don't come from a healthcare background, and we were looking for a purpose, for a niche where we could actually differentiate and build a particular expertise. And when we came and basically bumped into digital health, we absolutely fell in love with it, with the potential that it has for a company like us to build technology that can really change the scene and make life easier for not only patients, but for humans in general. And that is also a very interesting business opportunity.
What's the best part of working for Alternova today?
I would say that the best part is being able to develop technology with a purpose, developing technology that is changing the world in the scientific discovery part of things, and also in the consumer-facing side of healthcare. So definitely building impactful products is the best thing. I would say besides the aim or the purpose of the products that we're building, seeing the impact of your own work is also something exciting about being an entrepreneur. Like every decision you make and every action that you take, you really see its impact in reality. So that's scary, but that's also exciting. And something that didn't happen to me, for example, before when I used to work in big companies, it was really hard to see the impact of your work. And most of the times I thought I was working and sending reports and emails and stuff that just stayed in an inbox and didn't cause any type of impact in the company. So definitely seeing the impact of my work is something that is exciting for me. And learning how to build trust is another thing, because as I was mentioning at the beginning, we provide software services. And when we bring in or when we start working with a client, we really take care and build their core, we build their heart. So being able to build that trust and get to the point where they are comfortable enough to actually trust us and give us their heart and open their door to us, so we develop their technology is an experience that is really exciting. Learning how to build trust with people, especially with your clients and your partners, has also been really, really exciting and something that I definitely enjoy from my work.
Yeah, and being in the medical industry, as well as having Stanford, you mentioned earlier, and seeing the real world impacts, not just in terms of having corporations make money, but actually influencing real people, human beings as a whole, as a product there to improve their lives and understand the way that humans work as well through technology must be a bigger change. That must a much larger impact on yourself.
Definitely. And I believe, following your thought, that technology is a means to an end. And the value that I really believe that interactive technology can bring to this industry is making healthcare more accessible and more democratic to people. And especially when we talk about mental health, which is one of the industries that we have, or one of the pieces in healthcare where we have the biggest experience, it can definitely democratize access to mental health treatments, diagnosis, and intervention. Because when you're suffering from a mental health condition, you need to get in front of a therapist, and there are not enough therapists in the world to be able to treat and diagnose everybody that is suffering or undergoing a mental health issue or condition. So that's the first thing. And then it is really subjective how these conditions are diagnosed, right? Because it depends on what information you tell the scientist or the psychologist or the psychiatrist, and based on clinical research that has been done in the past. Besides, if you use a digital experience where you're able to, you cannot fake how you interact with a digital experience. And based on your interactions with a piece of technology, it can really be extracted like a humongous or a very different types of data can be extracted from there that basically can tell a doctor or a psychiatrist or a psychologist, as I was saying, how your brain works and be able to have that as a basis to give you a proper diagnosis. And not only diagnosis, but actually an intervention or treatment for any type of of mental health condition that you may be experiencing. And video games basically built with very specific and complex algorithms are able to give people a personalized piece of medicine that is built and that is particular and personalized for their brain.
So coming back to you though, Maria, what was your background and how would you describe your personal set of skills?
So I have a very diverse background, let's say. I did law and business during my undergrad. Then I studied project management and I had two different master's degrees, one in international business and the other one in business analytics. I have worked across many different industries. I worked for a very big American corporation called 3M in project management in technology there. Then I worked for the NGO sector in financial education and crowdfunding for social impact driven companies. And then I worked in product development for a very big insurance Latin American company. And then I ended up partnering with my high school friends and building Alternova. So I would say that I have a very diverse background, and that's really the value that I bring not only to my company, but to every project that I'm involved with. I would say that that varied and diverse experience allows me to kind of have different spots and dots to connect. And that helps me to bring a very outside of the box, I would say, perspective when I'm faced with a problem or with a challenge that I need to solve. So varied background, but basically I was always looking for an industry and for an opportunity where I could bring positive impact to the world. And that's what I found by building my own.
Mm-hmm. And you've landed right there, surrounded by some people that you went to high school with, and now you're definitely building a product which makes a huge difference.
Exactly. That's the executive summary of the story.
So throughout all this, this broad background that you've got, what's some of the most interesting feedback that you've gotten so far?
So I would say that one of the biggest pieces of feedback that I've received is be careful about your thoughts and be careful about the words that you say, because really the story that you tell yourself and then what you exteriorize, the word you say, really are going to guide your actions. So be careful with the story that you tell yourself and never say, I can't, or I don't know. Always say, I can't yet, and I don't know yet. So basically the most valuable feedback that I've received is be conscious and be aware of how your mindset really changes the outcome of how successful you are in life.
What are some of the most impactful things that you've learned or uncovered?
I would say that definitely bumping into the digital health industry was a huge discovery and a huge eye-opening opportunity. I particularly don't come from a healthcare background, and I was surprised to understand how, even if that is the case, how can a company like us that knows about video games and that knows about interactive technology, how we can bring value to an industry that we don't or didn't have a huge expertise in before diving into it. So definitely discovering the digital health industry is one of the great things I've uncovered during the last years. And also, I am from Colombia, as I said at the beginning. And here I am part of the lucky population that has the chance to actually study and see the world. And definitely having the chance to live outside of my country, outside of my region, in a city like San Francisco, it has really opened my eyes. I've understood really what diversity means in terms of thought, in terms of culture, in terms of different sets of values, in terms of experiences. It has definitely been another eye-opening experience being in a city like San Francisco, where you are basically an ant, and where you go to a bar or to a concert or to a restaurant and you start talking to anybody that is next to you, and it's always someone that has a lot of education and that has a great experience to tell and to share. And I believe that that's definitely a big opportunity to have.
What could you give to an aspiring leader or a founder or someone currently in a CEO position?
I would say that we, not only as entrepreneurs, but as humans, we always have to deal with uncertainty. So it's really useful to repeat to ourselves or to ask ourselves how we can enjoy that, because that's life. We never have a clear answer of what's going to happen. And there's entrepreneurs that suffer a lot with that. And I won't say I don't suffer at all. It has been definitely a challenge to understand and to learn how to manage that uncertainty and actually how to enjoy it, I would say. So one advice that I would give my colleagues is, feel intensely. If there's a day when you think your company is gonna be a unicorn and you believe that you're gonna eat the world, feel it intensely. And if the next day you wake up and you're feeling insecure and you're feeling like you're not the right person to be there, feel it intensely as well, and be sure that the next day you're gonna be feeling something different. So learn and try to enjoy living with that uncertainty would be my first advice. Definitely, the second one would be surround yourself with great people, not only with great partners that balance out the skill sets that you have, but also with great advisors that put you down to earth and listen to them. Listen to the people that you have around and that you trust and you believe in. That would be the second piece of advice. And the third one is be open to share your experience with others that are following the same path, either if they are behind or way ahead than you. Try to learn from and extrapolate lessons that other entrepreneurs have learned and apply it to your own experience. So I would summarize that other advice as be open to listen and be open to share your story with others, because you get tremendous value out of that. I would say those are my three pieces of advice.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you for sharing your experiences and time with us today. We've come into kind of the end of our interview today, this part of the document. But if someone was interested in reaching out to you more further, would you be open to connecting with them further?
Absolutely. As I said, I'm always open to share experiences, and especially if it's with another entrepreneur colleague struggling with the same journey and with the same uncertainty as we all are in this challenging ecosystem. So definitely open to share experience with anybody that's listening. And I thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us. But yeah, this is the end of the Founder Series with Maria. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you for telling us more about Alternova. Super exciting piece of technology and tool. If you did want to reach out to us to either be on the Founders Series or talk to Maria again, I'll share some further information in the description below. So once again, Maria, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.